Start streaming. Maybe this is working, I'm not sure. Let's see if we can find out. I'm gonna try to fix John's phone. John's phone jumped out at me as, whoa, this one definitely needs to be a live stream. I haven't done a live stream in a while. So let me see if I can figure out this new format and see if it is working. Welcome to live chat. All right, somebody can see. Andrew, all right, let's go. All right, I think this is maybe working. Trying to toggle between the chat on YouTube. All right, we'll just do that. All right, Harrisburg. Just went through Harrisburg. Tara was just at the class and drove through Harrisburg. My daughter was not a fan of Harrisburg. She thought you guys had ugly buildings, to be honest. Yellow brick. She was not a fan. I think Harrisburg is beautiful with the bridges and all. She was not a fan. John's phone. Here's the deal. John is from California, and he sent me this note, which I had to ask for clarification. So I'm going to read to you what the clarification was. So John sent me a note, and he said, this is what he said in the note. Prior repair attempt. That's the worst 3 words that there are when it comes to fixing phones. Prior repair attempt. Prior repair attempt. Our phone was plugged in while on a trip. One day, while plugging into the charger bank, the phone instantly died and never turned on. We attempted to replace the TriStar chip, but failed and immediately stopped trying. This all happened a while ago, back in 2019. But we never sent it out for data recovery until now. And I purchased a 6S to use for parts, blah, 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 blah. I have photos of the prior repair as well for reference. So then I asked him, tell me more about what the original presentation was. Before you decided to replace TriStar, why? Why did you think it needed a new TriStar? This is what he said. He said, hello, we were on a trip to Japan, and the phone was low battery, 20%, so we plugged it into a portable charge bank, and it instantly died, and it did not want to turn back on. We tried to diagnose via YouTube without actually knowing how to test the phone, and chose to just try and change the TriStar chip and hope that that worked. We actually did not know what was wrong. We just wanted to try to fix it. All right, John, I admire your courage to try and fix your phone. This time, though, it seems like that might not have been the right move. Let's take a look. First, I'm going to plug in the TriStar tester just to see kind of a before and after. What does the old TriStar tester have to say about this phone? So I have to connect the charge port under there, and let's plug this sucker in. I think I'm gonna have to keep my finger on the charge port or it'll just fly right out. But let's see what happens. I haven't used one of these for a while. Remember the ye old TriStar tester. All right, so it says dock flex fail. That doesn't mean necessarily that the dock is bad. It just means that this device cannot even see the TriStar chip. It can't look from the little 8 connections here at the dock. It's not able to go through the charge port and actually see TriStar, which lives under here. So let's take the board out, and you guys can see why I thought, man, this one should be a video. Let me see if I can see chat. I like to see chat at the same time. What happened to chat? Let's see. There it is. Hi from Scotland. Hi from France. Hi from Norway. Hi from Portugal. Man, this is quite the group here. I'm in Rochester, New York. It's Christmas time. I've been doing my favorite thing all day, which is recovering data for people at Christmas time. It's such a great, fun thing to do, to give people back their data. We caught a couple people. One guy was here for a year, and we got this data today. That was super exciting. All right, if you're just getting here, we are about to flip over John's iPhone 6S and feast our eyes upon his self-professed DIY TriStar repair. What is this cable for? Let me see if I can get some of these out of here. All right, here we go. Let's look at the scope cam. Let's take our eyes, take a look. All right, so here we go. TriStar is located under here, and DIY TriStar for California. John, how did it work out? Bloop, boop, and ho, oy. All right, John, I highly recommend coming up to Practical Board Repair School. In fact, Tara was just here 2 weeks ago. I watched him change a TriStar job, and he did a lot better than this. In fact, it's a requirement in the course. You have to ring the bell after you successfully complete a job just like this. So let's see. Step one on this, we have to fix all this up. So we're going to have to take a couple steps back, reassess, reanalyze, get a working TriStar on there, and see if that was actually the problem all along, or kind of take it from the top. So we are going to jump right in and see what we can do. All right, step one, I think I gotta just take this guy off and clean up anybody that is mashed around in that area. Well, let's look around. Is anything else really jumping out at us? This just looks like, kind of flux on the board. I'm really curious, John, what equipment did you use to do your DIY TriStar job here? Were you still on the trip? Were you in Japan? Was this like a paint stripper, or what is this? I would love to know. So if you're in the chat, John, jump in and tell us. Meanwhile, we are going to delete that TriStar and hope for the best. All right, let's see. I wonder if he tried to charge it like that anyway. That is a good question. If you do something like this and you think, well, you never know, maybe, did you plug it in? I would like to know the answer to that. I would also like to know, just like you guys. All right, it looks like mine after 3 cups of coffee. That is not good news because I just broke one of my rules. I drink a lot of caffeine in the morning, but I don't drink caffeine after noon. And right now it is about 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. And I did drink a big cup of coffee just to wake up and want to keep fixing things. It's dark and it's snowing right now. Super cute, beautiful little town trees everywhere, decorating for Christmas at iPad Rehab. And I thought, I better have some coffee. Broke my own rule, so we'll find out. Maybe John is going to be better than me today at doing a TriStar job. All right, let's go ahead and take this off. I would really like to be able to see chat on this same channel, and I feel like I should be able to do that. How do I do any of this stuff? Add a stream marker. I don't even know what any of that means. What happens if I do select stream? What happens if I do this one? Can I see anything? No. All right, we're going in. We're going to use the iPad Rehab special tool of the blue hook tweezers. Well, it's on there. I mean, I thought it was maybe just going to be sitting here, but no, it's actually soldered on. Well done. Or I hope it's not like glued on or anything. Whoa! Wow, that is a cool looking TriStar under view. Look at that. It's like a cute little snowflake, just like outside. All sorts of things bridged together under there. It's kind of pretty. All right, let's start by cleaning that sucker up. And chat, I just posted a question for you guys. Help me come up with a new name for the part of iPad Rehab. iPad Rehab needs a new name for its digital forensic side. So the part of iPad Rehab that works with forensic investigators, handling evidence, and extracting data. I think, when we have to go testify, that the name iPad Rehab is not doing us any favors in that space. So we've been working with federal, state, local agencies for years. And as we become sort of more well-known in that space, I think it is time to change our name for our forensic side. I also know that I'm terrible at picking names, and so far, iPad Rehab is a pretty dumb name, especially because we like almost never fix iPads. In fact, just this morning, a lady came in here first thing, and she was like, had a computer, which we totally fix computers, and she's like, oh, I know you mostly work on iPads, but I was wondering if... So it's a dumb name, but we're kind of stuck with it now. I think our repair brand is too far, it's too deep. We're too deep in. We're too deep in to change away from the name iPad Rehab. But not on the forensic side. So what do you think? What does your Chat GPT say would be a good name for iPad Rehab? We already tried the Chat GPT. Agent Pad. I kind of like it. I mean, anything is better. iPad Rehab I only picked because the domain name was available, to be honest. Before that, who can remember? Does anybody here remember what our original pre-iPad Rehab, what was the original name back in 2012, 13? Deep Data Recovery Bro. What about iPhone Investigator? These names are, Christine, these names are all better than what we came up with. Agent Pad. That's hilarious. Oh man, we've been asking, students and everybody for a while. It's tough because around here, Sunday wants a name that is kind of corporate and sounds kind of grown up and not like gimmicky or silly. Not, what did we say? Not like jocular. I still don't have a name I like for my business. I'm terrible at names. Not worse than me. I mean, I named my kids after dogs. Didn't realize it. I mean, my son's name is Bailey, which is apparently, it's either a girl's name or a dog's name. So that was my first fail on naming kids. My second son didn't even have a name. We had to leave the hospital, and he didn't even have a name because we couldn't agree. So I ripped up his birth certificate. Just like, it was his middle name. I couldn't think of anything. I knew his name was Sam, like something to go with Sam, I don't know. All right, what are we gonna do now that this is cleaned up? So we're going to, I think, we've got some little tiny guys around here. Data collector. Original name, Mom's Repair or something like that. Yes, even worse than Mom's Repair. It's close, but not quite it. Who can remember our original name? These little guys, I see a resistor. So that resistor is likely important for something. Hopefully, though, it's something to do with audio. This is like a speaker amp chip here. So any components that are related to this guy, we don't even need that guy at all to get the data out of this phone, to get it to boot and charge. This big resistor undoubtedly goes there. We can flip this guy back around. But these three resistors, this one's kind of not even there anymore. I don't think that we need any of those. But to be sure, before I just delete them, I am going to look up on ZXW and just make sure that we don't need anything that's up in that area for data recovery. So let's go take a look at that. All right, what about data recovery team? Fred's iPhone data recovery. I kind of like that too. Fred's iPhone data recovery. People, every now and then we have somebody that we have to say, oh, obviously you need to talk to a man. Hey, Mark, come on up front. We got somebody who needs to talk to a man. No worries. So something like Fred's data recovery could work. All right, let's hit ZXW up, and we're going to take a look in that area. And let's hear from you guys in chat about what is your like botched DIY repair story? This one's pretty bad, although I don't think it's the worst that we've seen. All right, let's flip this over and see. I mean, I kind of admire old John for just going for it. All right, so the TriStar is gone. This is TriStar. Hopefully you guys can see that. And now let's look up here in the corner. Our big resistor is still there, connecting arc driver to solenoid out, arc driver out. This is the arc driver U3800. We don't really need him, so we don't need that guy. These two little guys are for arc driver capacitors, so we don't need that. Now here's our resistors. So what is this? Arc, current sense N, current sense P. We don't need that because we don't need the arc driver at all. And let's see, over on this side of TriStar, we might need some things. Let's see. All right, reverse gate. resistor. All right, reverse gate resistor. Reverse gate resistor is something that we may possibly need. I guess we don't really need that either. Let's talk about that for a second though. Reverse gate resistor. So that is a guy that goes right here. So the reverse gate on TriStar is part of the MOSFET, which is, where is the MOSFET? There's a MOSFET, oh, there he is, under there. I hope he's okay. So there's a MOSFET that controls the flow of the 5-volt charger current from the charge port, and it has to end up arriving here at TriStar. So it has to handshake, TriStar handshake to the actual charging current, that 5 volts, that has to be there in order for TriStar to do its job, which is to validate the charging cable itself. So the MOSFET has to work. How does the MOSFET work? MOSFETs work where you've got A and B will talk to each other, so the 5 volts will come from the charger and it will go through to TriStar if the little reverse gate there allows that to happen. So really that reverse gate, I think, is a kind of a basic form of reverse current protection or something like that. So that's the resistor, I think. Is it right there? Yeah, let's just try and take him off and put him back there. Although I'm pretty sure that he doesn't need to be there as long as I plug everything in correctly, because he's like a kind of a little surge protector concept. All right, but regardless, he's right there. Do you see him? He's elevated. This is a pretty cool presentation. Let me see if I can show you. The resistor that we need is currently floating in midair. Let's see if we can brighten that up so that you guys can see what challenge number 1 is here. Maybe you guys can vote in chat whether or not we need to even do this challenge at all. So here in the air, I've got some kind of a capacitor standing up, and standing on its head is another component right here that is cracked in half, it looks like. It's like there's a crack. And then in the joint between the two of them on the back side, right there, there's our little resistor. Hey, buddy, right there. See him? Just like, there he is. Oh, he knocked off the stack. All right, let's look at him. He looks like he's seen better days. But regardless, maybe we should just for the challenge of it, stick him back on where he goes. So I'm pretty sure that he goes on these two guys right up there, and then this guy would go right there, and then this guy would go, I'm not sure. But let's check ZXW to make sure that that is true. So heading back to ZXW. Let's pull up our ZXW and see exactly where that is. Yep, so we've got, this looks like, is this the right phone? Yeah, 6S. All right, we got this problem. Q4500 has to be there, it has to be functioning, and I don't see it at all. And the thing that I thought was the MOSFET kind of looked like it's under there. I think this MOSFET has left. So that is indeed going to be an actual bona fide problem. All right, let's get rid of this. Let's take a look at that. All right, Dr. Data Saver, Dr. Data Popper, Honey Eye Rehab Fix. I feel this repair was a Reddit post at some point. Really? Oh, I want to find that Reddit post then. How about not driver savers? How about, yeah, like actual drive savers? That would be really fun. In fact, Brad's been working all day on a Surface Pro that drive savers could not recover data from, and he has gotten it to boot. It's been a massive, massive project over multiple days. So I think, you know, actual drive savers would be pretty funny. All right, let's see. We got to go on a hunt for this MOSFET. Let's find out. He probably used a heat gun and blew the components around. I really want to know. All right, in here, under here, I think that when I'm looking at the, let me zoom in for you guys. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, last time I recall, the MOSFET was right here. This pad A and B are part of the MOSFET. This whole mess, this Tower of Pisa, doesn't belong there at all. I think it belongs here. A, B, and the resistor goes there. And then the MOSFET that lives here, I think, is that guy, in which case, is it? Or is that, what is that under there? I feel like it's him, but I feel like he's like soldered on. He's not moving. He's not just stuck in flux. That's a pretty, how did you manage to do that? All right, now I'm kind of curious. We're going to take this bracket off and see if that is where the MOSFET goes. If it is, then we are going to have to solve that problem, because if we don't, without the MOSFET at all, we have no connection between the charge port and TriStar, so it ain't going to work. All right, let's go full barbaric mode and finish breaking off this ripped up bracket. Okay, that's all soldered on. A big blob of solder, this whole thing. Ew. Oh man, I just want to know what is under here. All right, let's can opener this part. All right, yeah, there's our MOSFET chilling. It appears to be potentially soldered to this neighboring guy. There we go. Oh, that's a lot of flux. Look at that, gross. Look at this yummy, delicious California honey. Honey of the board. Gross. That is nasty. And here's our little buddy, the MOSFET, just chilling. How did he get snaked under there? That is pretty wild and crazy. There he is. Hey, guy. All right. Okay, let's just start to edit stuff around here. I'm going to make some puffy pillows, and we're just going to put some people back at home. I can't trust that MOSFET, not after he's been on an adventure like that, so I'm going to come up with a jumper solution to replace his function so that we can just move on. All right, well, let's see. Looks tasty. What's behind door number 1, Johnny? Oh, that's a big blob. All right, let's see. Data necromancers. There was like a couple like really interesting apps out there for, you know, how to name your business. I thought they were better than anything I could come up with, that's for sure. All right, let's just let's just delete these guys before I just utterly forget about them. All right, goodbye. Arc resistor 1, goodbye. Arc resistor number 2, goodbye. Arc cap that we don't need. And you guys, you don't have to like really play. You can just stay up in your room if you want, but you can't be touching anybody inappropriately, if you know what I mean. All right, that's all fine. Okay. Now some hot air, and we're going to get busy. Anything stuck under the TriStar chip? Well, we took the TriStar chip off, and looks like a hot air tornado hit that thing. That's exactly what it looked like when we took the TriStar chip off. Okay, where are we now so that you guys can all see? Okay, we're going to try and lay down this party over here. So let me dig up. Let's see. Get everybody to behave. All right, come on off. That's right. All right, I'm pretty sure you go there. All right, you are gonna have to move with hot air. Little resistor guy that was damaged is who knows where now. And let's get cleaned up around here, shall we? All right, let's see. Okay. Under the chip itself, when I removed it, thousands of tiny little bridges. That's what it looked like under there. All right, here's our buddy, Mr. MOSFET. Once we melted the flux, he seemed readily able to move. All right, that's what he looks like underneath. Still don't really trust him. So I am going to put him in timeout. Put him in timeout over here. I'll come back for you later if you have good behavior, all right? All right, you can put him in like a little recovery zone. Someplace under the microscope that I'll be able to remember where he is and find him again later. All right, let me see. It's hard for me to see what you guys see. Yeah, okay. All right, let's head back. And now we're going to go after Mr. Sideways Cap. All right, come here, buddy. I know. It's okay. You're going to be fine. Hold on tight. There you go. Rescue. You're not allowed to sit there on that MOSFET pad, though. All right, now we'll just... You're going home. It's Thanksgiving. Time to go home. Who is watching Lifetime movies or Hallmark holiday movies in their shop, and who has that stuff banned? Today, I am ashamed to say that I did make Brad watch a Hallmark movie, a full-on, full-length Hallmark movie. He claims he's seen worse. I don't know about that. All right, there we go. Let's grab some other guy and get this one here. It was pretty cheesy, not gonna lie. Sunday, as you know, has kept her own personal dryer working for 15 years, which is like a total amazing superpower. And she just fixed it 3 weeks ago, replacing all kinds of stuff on it. And woke up this morning and the dryer doesn't work because a different thing has failed on it, which is very frustrating, but I know she will prevail. She went to the store, came out, somebody hit her car. So Sunday is having a rough week. Oh, there's the wayward resistor. All right, dare we try to put this guy back on there? I don't know if he's gonna wanna go on there because one of his little anchor caps is kind of messed up, but that's okay. Who are we to judge? All right. If you haven't noticed, we did make a bit of a Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Black Friday week, Cyber Week. We put a discount on our Practical Board Repair School December course. We have been busy teaching forensic guys plus repair guys. So for December, it's a repair course. It's our last repair course of the year. And so we made a $500 discount. If you want to come learn to do this kind of stuff, then go over to iPadRehab.com and click to sign up for the December Practical Board Repair School, where you will have to do a TriStar job without making this kind of big nonsense. All right, let's see. Yeah, all right, that's guys on there. All right, should we jump our MOSFET or should we put that MOSFET back on? I'm going to leave it up to you, chat. What do you think? Should we go back and get the MOSFET out of timeout and put it on this board so that we can bring our 5 volts of TriStar back to this chip? Or should we jump the MOSFET and make a jumper to do its job? All right, let's see. Where is my chat? I got a vote for put the MOSFET back on. Put 2 votes for put the MOSFET back. Jump it. Personally, I would rather jump it because I'm not sure about that MOSFET. But I said chat would decide, so we're gonna do that. All right, let's see. The only thing allowed to play in my shop is Taylor Swift music videos. I had Thanksgiving with a Swiftie. I did. She knew everything. It was one of my nephew's girlfriends. It's a whole other thing. The Taylor Swift phone right here, you guys may remember, Taylor Swift phone is working. Taylor Swift videos right here, ready to go back. That guy's gonna be super jazzed. Hope he's not watching the chat because I told him, come down to iPad Rehab. We need to talk about your Taylor Swift data recovery. And I'm going to tell him that we got the Taylor Swift videos and see what he does. All right. Underdog data. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, underdog data. That is very good. Underdog, rest in peace. Okay. All right. Well, I said we were going to leave it to chat. Chat has spoken. Chat said put the MOSFET back on. Will do, boss. All right. Here you go, buddy. All right. You'll be all right. Now let's come over and let's check you out. Make sure everything looks healthy. One thing that I think I might look for to upgrade the streaming setup might be a USB microscope for the purpose of showing information. Those are terrible to work with. Nobody that I know can stand them, but they are great for showing other people stuff. All right, so luckily we can tell, all right, that guy is got to just go right back there where he belongs. So we'll do it and hope he's intact, even though he's had quite a journey all over the board. Went to visit the neighboring dormitory over there. All right, let's get him back on there. Come on, buddy. It's all right. You're fine. There you go. Good job. Excellent. All right, so now to be sure that he's able to do his job, we need to, let's go ahead and take a look so you guys understand what he's supposed to do. Now, if we're not sure if he's working, we're going to have to use our multimeter to check rather than just use an easy jumper. How does this guy work? Here's the deal. Here comes our 5-volt USB straight from the charge port, ultimately. Where is it? Right here. 5 volts from your charger. Lands at the charge port. Zing. Whizzes by this test point. Zing. Flies over here. Connects to the TriStar chip, which says, hold up. I'm not letting you in here until I get permission from my bro TriStar, which is right here. But how does TriStar know if he can give permission? He doesn't even see that 5 volts unless the MOSFET Q4500 must allow 5 volts to come through the MOSFET. Zing! Landing there at pin 2 and 3 have to connect, which will shoot that 5 volts right into TriStar, waking him up. Ding dong, somebody's here. TriStar is then going to go have a chit chat with, who is it? Who is there? With the charge port through all of its many little data lines that go out to the charge port. It's going to validate the charger, and only then will it send a signal out to TriStar or Tigris. Tigris will get the thumbs up. Hey, buddy, thumbs up from TriStar. Where is the thumbs up line? Let's see if we can find it just to tell my story. Thumbs up from TriStar. Where is it? Where is it? Where's the thumbs up line? It's got the weirdest name. You would never guess that it was the thumbs up line. How do you figure it out then if it has a weird name you can't tell? Well, you got to read a lot of schematics, and in the other schematics, it has a name. Let's see. It's going to be, let's see. I'm looking for the one that has the old PMU name. They might have changed it in the 6S. Let's see. Does that go? Yeah, right there. That's it. Zing! Telling Tigris, hey, buddy, get busy. And only then does Tigris allow that precious charger voltage to come through and create the main power rail and turn this phone on. So MOSFET's a pretty important guy here. So we could have just made a jumper from 2 to 3 and just said, here, we're going to allow the 5 volts to go right through without you, Q4500. We don't need you. And then here's our little guy, reverse gate resistor, reverse gate. This resistor is going to be pulling that reverse gate to ground to allow that to happen. But we put it back. He might be damaged. I don't know. This whole little scenario would have been a lot easier for us to just connect A to B, number 3 to 2. That's what I would have done if I hadn't said, hey, chat, do you think we should put the MOSFET back? And chat said, yeah, put it back. All right, either way. All right, I wish Apple would hire you. Then we will have the right to repair. Relentless forensic data recovery. Relentless. I like that. I like that a lot. Relentless. Okay, All right. Can you ask if I can have a copy of the Taylor videos? I will ask that. I will ask that just for you. That is an excellent Christmas present. I am going to, and don't you Swifties can't you just he'll say yes. Of course he will. He's a Swiftie. All right. Let's see. I did look at the videos. They looked kind of like any other video, so I'm not really sure. He claims to have the Taylor Swift amnesia. We'll see. I'm really curious to see what his story is, because it's something crazy, like car fell off a trailer on the side of the road on a highway in New York State, and then through, I can't imagine what kind of magic, made its way back to him. Like the state police got him this phone back. How is that remotely possible? So I'm super curious. Time for a fresh new TriStar. If you think that I might ask chat, hey chat, should we reball the old crappy, dinged up TriStar that's been on upside down? No, I'm not going to ask that, because I'm afraid that chat would have said, yes, we should do that. And that would be a massive delay. Oh wait, I thought this was going to be a strip of TriStars. Wow, this is going to be Christy's Christmas present. It's a strip of old diodes that I thought we had run out of. But no. All right, so now we have to go on a hunt. Where is a TriStar? Ooh, this is a great time for me to learn how I'm supposed to work with the shopping tab, which I don't even see anymore. Shopping tab. Where can you buy a TriStar? If you need a TriStar for a job like this, you can buy the Everyday TriStar from iPad Rehab Supply, iPadRehab.com. Click Supply, or click one of these links around here. Underdog is my favorite. All right, replace. Yes, we are going to replace. I really wish I could figure out how to use this weird OBS. What does that thing do? What does that do? Select stream. This one doesn't really seem like it can do very much. Menu doesn't do anything. Nice to see you streaming. Well, thank you. I would love to stream more often. And maybe I will. Maybe that'll be my New Year's resolution. Stream more often. Streaming is super fun. All right, here's my hot, fresh, everyday TriStar from iPad Rehab Supply, which I have absolutely no ability to... How do you do that? Engage with your audience. I don't know how to do that. Ooh, here we go. Shopping. Everyday TriStar. Pinned. Let's do that. Oh yeah. How did it know that? I don't know. All right. It says it's pinned. Maybe you guys can see that. I have absolutely no clue. Let me know in the comments whether or not you can see the link to this chip, the Everyday TriStar, which according to streaming software says you can see, but I don't know about that. All right, now I do remember a time, first time that I saw Mark Schaefer put a iPhone 6s TriStar on, and he put it on upside down. And I remember asking him, why did you put it on that way? And he said, I just figured it would go that way because that's how it is in the iPhone 6, and I just took a stab that they were going to keep the orientation the same. But that was not true. So I believe that the 6S TriStar dot is up in that corner, but I'm not 100% sure because it's probably been years since I did a 6S TriStar. So we're going to look it up, folks. We're going to look it up. We're not going to get this one wrong and be shamed on YouTube live stream. A1, that's where the dot is, and the A1 is indeed pointing at the big ugly resistor and the missing components that are at the top, kind of pointing to the edge of the board. All right, so we're good to go on that. This is the correct orientation. We are not going to be trolled. Now let's get this thing back on, and then we'll find out what the original problem was all along. So remember, why are we here? We inherited this. This was a TriStar job gone horribly wrong on a phone that may or may not have ever needed TriStar. We don't really know. Our buddy John said, internet says change TriStar, will do. And he just kind of went to town on here. All right, so we're gonna put this TriStar on. Hopefully you guys can see it. Let me move it around a little bit. Get on there, buddy. Go home now. It's a good start, but you need to do better than that. There you go. Good job. Whoa. My mat's got a little bubble in it. All right. Kind of want to take this guy off. He looks like he might be touching the guy underneath. There you go. No touching. No touching. Jessa, have you ever done a toolbox workbench tour on stream? Super curious what equipment you use. Years ago maybe, but seriously, all of our equipment is on iPad Rehab Supply under Perfect Start collection, and then Diagnostic Tools and Meters, and all of those collections. That is legit 100% of everything that we use. Watching from Holland, still in business. Great precision work. All right, confirmed we can see the link. Oh, that's very cool. All right. So could you reball a TriStar? Not that TriStar. This TriStar you would never put back on because it has physical damage. So let's make sure that we all understand that. Just because it is tough, especially there's so many people here from different countries, and being able to source this stuff is hard. So can I put back on this TriStar that came with the job? And the answer is no. And the reason is because of the physical damage to the chip. Right? Look at that. That chip, it seems like, oh, it's kind of minor. It's just, kind of somebody just sort of, rubs a little sandpaper on it. It's fine. It's just a flesh wound. It'll shake it off. Nope. There is actual gouge marks in that chip. Let's put it on an angle. See that? The corner is completely missing. You'd be surprised what kind of super minor little nick in a chip will make the whole thing not work. So this one is too far gone for sure. As a result, phew, there, never see it again. It will live in infamy. Okay, I think that the next thing for us to do is find out whether or not at the very least, can the TriStar tester now see this chip? So let's get rid of, let's bring back our hand cam. Okay, so let's see whether or not TriStar tester can see it. So let me see if I can dig up a bona fide working charge port. All right, let's see, watching from Pikeville, Kentucky. Looking forward to getting some data recovery service. Well, send it on up because this is my favorite time of year. Everybody here is working super hard to, lots of people that have had old jobs here with us or fresh new jobs want their data as like really the ultimate Christmas present is to go dig up that phone and be like, could you guys get the data? That is priceless. That's how you get grandma to start crying on Christmas morning, is to pull up with some USB that has these ancient pictures that everybody in the family thought were long, long gone. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. I'd like to do the TriStar tester, but first, let me see what you guys think. Can we use the existing charge port? All right. So here's the charge port. I'm about to plug this in, and it felt like not quite normal. And then I looked at the charge port. Oh my. All right. So whenever you're doing any kind of board repair, this amount of flux getting in the connectors is just going to destroy your known good parts. How to turn known good parts into known bad parts. Plug them into a connector that looks like this, hot, fresh, and full of flux. All right, I'm going to warm this up actually to try and get some of the flux out of here so that we can just kind of use a little old man's toothbrush action. Warm it up, the flux. See how it warms up and it kind of thins out? Just to warm it up enough to clean it. All right. I originally wanted to get my phone fixed, but you recommended me to do data recovery. Great. Data recovery is the bomb. People ask us all the time, like, well, what's the difference between phone repair and data recovery? And, data recovery is what you want if there's important data on it, because data recovery means we will leave no stone unturned to get that phone to boot up, to get the data. It's going to go to a senior, experienced technician, and not, you know, one of the interns or somebody here that's learning, or you know, a beginner, a junior technician. If it's here for repair, we might look at, you know, a couple of things. We're thinking, like, if it's an iPhone 6S, what's the value of an iPhone 6S? Less than $100, maybe $50, maybe $10. It doesn't even really work anymore. We might decline a 6S repair outright just because it doesn't make sense for you. But if there's important data on it, then we will leave no stone unturned, and it may be with us for a whole year, whatever it takes to get the data off any way that we can. We will do it. All right, that's like somewhat better on the, what do you guys think? Acceptable? Can we plug into that sucker now? Hopefully, yes. All right, let's see. The customer's face, that's the difference. Yeah, it's true. So fun. Sunday got to call a lawnmower phone guy. You know, where is that phone? It's almost worth it to go find it. She called a guy today who sent us a phone that had been in a lawnmower. It was like, it was almost a miracle, because the lawnmower did nick the battery, that the whole phone didn't just absolutely explode. All right, let's go ahead and look under the hand cam. And that was a really fun call to make today. All right. And okay, now let's just see. TriStar tester, can you see TriStar? So when we did this at the beginning, it said dock fail because it couldn't see TriStar at all. Probably it couldn't even see it at all because of that connector. All right, the dock is okay, so now it's looking to see TriStar. How are you? So this is the path between this charge port and TriStar, which is kind of like a bit of a step one. All right. What is the name of the brush? The name of the brush is Old Man's Toothbrush. This is a hog's hair brush made in the USA. But this is not available on iPad Rehab Supply because these are 10 years old. So I don't know if you can get these anymore or not. So if I was going to buy another one, I would just use the toothbrush. Hey, it passed. Look at that. All right, we're good to go. Had a customer that lost all hope. He lost his phone in the ocean. It was terrible inside, but we got the data for his iPhone 10. Made my day, making him so happy. That's what I'm talking about. It's the best thing that you can do at Christmas, is to go to work, which is super fun. All right. Love this time of year. Okay. So TriStar is on there, and the TriStar tester can see it. So now we are going to find out what the original problem was with this phone. So now we're going to ask it, can it boot? So let's see if we can get a DC power working so that you guys can follow along in case it can't boot. So let's see, does that work? Easy power, yeah, there we go. All right, let's plug this in. Let's hit go on that. All right, let's turn that from 4.49 down a little bit. All right, to a battery voltage, 4.3-ish. And let's go for it. Dare we try a screen and see if we can get this to boot up or not. Let's see. All right. Great to see you in the live stream. Well, thank you. My battery, please stall more longer. Oh, I'm really good at stalling. Okay. But if your battery's low, don't you mean like speed up, find out what happens? All right, let's see. All right, I'm going to plug in a screen, and I'm going to move this out of the way. And let's see, I'm curious, is the price the same for a data recovery as it would be for a phone repair? I have an iPhone 8 that went down back in October. The repairs are going to get declined. So repairs can be more expensive or cheaper. It kind of depends. But repairs, the main problem is if you have data on the device and it's in for repair, we might restore it to eliminate any variable. If it has a brain problem, then one of our first steps is to eliminate, we're always eliminating variables. So for repair, data is a variable, so we want to eliminate that. Is what's wrong with your phone caused by the data? Let's get rid of the data, and then we can see. We might get the data out of a phone where that phone needs a $400 screen. Well, for repair, we wouldn't put a $400 screen on a phone that also needs a whole bunch of other work, but we would address it for data recovery. So the answer is a big it depends. Okay, now we're going to plug in this. A lot of times after data recovery, where the memories are safe and that is our focus, then we will just ask you, hey, you know, this phone will boot again, but it also needs a charge port if you want it to go out working. And we'll give you some options if it makes sense for you for the sort of newer, higher value phones. Okay, I have plugged in the DC power supply, so you guys can see that. It is plugged in, and it is indeed holding steady at 0 current, pressurized with that 4.29 volts filling up the main power rail. So that is a good sign. So now we're going to ask, yes, but can you boot? All right, so we're going to have to use the tweezer method on this and say, can you boot? What happens when we try to boot it? Prompting to boot. We're going to prompt to boot. Ooh, all right, I see an Apple logo. All right, John. Hopefully it doesn't boot loop. If it boot loops, that's a bad sign. That's going to mean information problem. Why would it have an information problem from what was described? Likely because of the botched TriStar that was on there. Hopefully that's not the case. It doesn't have corrupted information from the screwy TriStar that was on there. Hopefully it will be able to boot up. So in case it can, I'm going to find, oh, yay, passcode, yay, it's everybody's favorite thing. Let's see if he has his passcode. Where did I put your note? Note fell down. Here we go. All right, John. John's passcode. Uh-oh, wake it up. No. Don't do that. Don't do me like that, John's phone. All right. John's phone had an unfortunate reboot. All right, just want to know if he has his correct passcode. Hopefully he does. All right, you said John from California, and I thought of an old friend. Does he live in Stockton, California? If so, it could be the same guy. Cleared main shorts by removing all caps on main until it cleared. Okay, all right. So now we're gonna just find out. I did freak out a little bit after I set up this stream, and I was like, this one, it deserves a stream. This is a crazy one. And then I picked up the note, and I was afraid that it wouldn't say permission to video record the repair for YouTube. Yes, which it does say, but it freaked me out for a second. All right, I'm gonna hold this up. Okay, good. We can get his passcode. Yes! Yay! Access to data for John. It's a success. All right, so now we will be able to recover all of those photos from the trip to Japan, and it's all coming back to you, John, from California. Excellent. All right, that's it. So chat, remember, we need a name for our digital forensics side, and I'm terrible at picking names, so can you do better? Go check out our community post that I made and throw me your name suggestions. I think what we're gonna do is have a team meeting. I told everybody on my team to come with their best name, and then we're gonna make a poll. I'm gonna have you guys vote and name the new iPad Rehab Digital Forensics Division. So super excited. And then remember, if you want to come learn how to appropriately fix TriStar or do any other BGA chip repair, if you want to learn how to work with the layer boards and get them separated and put back together, if you want to learn how to diagnose with a DC power supply, come visit us on sale next week, December Practical Board Repair School. It's the cheapest it's been, $500 off. go to iPadRehab.com, click training, and sign up. And I will see you next time. Merry Christmas. Hopefully I'll make another stream before the holiday.